Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining Notorious DMG on a special evening. Tonight, we're doing something particularly special on this special evening, and we are doing a Dark Trails funnel. Bert is going to be running us through the quick start funnel adventure, or one in progress, I believe. And we have a very special guest tonight. We are joined by David Baity, the author, creator. What's your title? Creator of Dark Trails?
Dark Overlord, perhaps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we call you?
I don't know what you can call me, whatever you want to. But yeah, I'm Dave. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. This is always cool. We can have a creator on here with us.
I can't think. I've been running this game for 3 years now, and there's been a ton of people that have graciously taken it and run with it, and I rarely get to play a game, so I'm actually pretty excited to play my own game.
Yes. Who's Jason Connerly? Looking forward to it. Back Dark Trails Kickstarter, but haven't had a chance to play the game yet. Well, good thing you're here. I have also backed it, and I haven't played it yet. Some of these guys got to play it last week, and I was pretty damn disappointed I didn't get to join them.
Dude, same.
I was supposed to be a luchador. I was really, really excited for that.
You had a luchador stand in. He died honorably.
He's not the same. I am the
women and children.
I am the true Chupacabra. He's like the third generation. He unmasked me and he's claimed the title. He's not the true Chupacabra.
Yeah, that works.
But hey, let's do roundtable introductions here. I'm Matt, aka Jowzam, over on Grim and Perilous Gaming. I stream dark fantasy, indie games, and of course Swyhander over on the channel. Check it out and do creator interviews as well. I will throw it over to Seth.
What up? I'm Seth. I'm the dungeon master for a podcast called The Monday Nights. It's pretty whack. Tonight, I'm operating the mind of 4 fools who will be rootin' tootin' sons of bitches. And I hope that none of them die, but that doesn't seem like a possibility.
They're all going to die. Chuck?
Oh, snap. That's me. I am Chuck from the Defenders of Cobalt. We're a live stream group of miscreants and idiots. And tonight, I'm also playing 4 soon-to-be-dead people. And I'm really excited. I have a Baker who has a +2 modifier to strength and personality. So... charismatic strongman. Super excited.
Finally, Bert?
Hey, I go by BizLab on most of the intertube things. I run a podcast called Of Steam, Steel, and Murder. And it's good to have another podcaster on board this time instead of all you damn streamers.
I know. What the fuck? Did these guys show their face?
Yeah, we'll convert you all at some point.
Yeah,
You've got to wear clothes when you're in front of a camera. I mean, what the hell's with that?
Only from the waist up.
Every episode of my podcast has 6 nude men behind of it.
That's why I like it so much.
Yeah, so it's my favorite podcast.
Now wash that image out of it. There you
Oh,
go.
Seth. God bless you. And of course, we got
I have a
David here.
quick technical question, guys.
Mm-hmm.
You did from the point. I'm hearing like every time you say something, including me, I'm hearing twice.
Do you have the Twitch open, the Twitch stream?
If you do, you need to mute it. Yeah.
Was it?
Mute it.
Oh, thank God! I just failed my sanity check. I was like melting. My face was melting. You know?
I do it all
Stroking
the
out,
time.
David. It's too early to stroke out on us.
I did it on Tuesday. Last night when I streamed the game, I was like, why am I hearing myself?
Oh man!
Don't worry.
Yeah, I've done
Hey, but let's
that.
not forget about David. David should plug himself too.
Yeah, plug yourself, plug Dark Trails, whatever else you got going on.
I usually don't plug myself in public, but my name is David Baity, and I wrote Dark Trails, and I really hope that you guys dig it that are following the little thing we're doing here. But kind of got to start in 2016. I did a little adventure called Carnival of the Dam, which did pretty good. And that made me think maybe I could do something bigger, which Dark Trail started 3 years ago. And here we are today.
Very
Good.
cool.
Okay.
Good stuff.
And I have a cat.
Hey, cat.
Just
That's about
one.
it.
Could you please describe the cat for me?
She's geriatric. She has severe hip dysplasia and bone-on-bone arthritis, and she hobbles around like I do at 50 years old. So we're
So you can always guess
Oh,
about
I-
how old a person is when they describe in detail the ailments first before anything else.
Yeah, I was looking for like color or breed, and you were like geriatric.
Oh, man. yeah, it's gonna be one of those nights. But hey, I got another glass of whiskey, so I'm good to go.
Nice.
There you go.
Good. All right, guys. So let's kick this off. I'm wanting to push through and try to get through the whole adventure. I think we can in 2 hours ish, maybe a little more, maybe a little less if everyone just died. So the
That is a
adventure
possibility.
has a fair amount of canned text, which for some of it I'm just going to read out verbatim, and some of it I'm just going to summarize as we go. All right, everybody, grab your drinks and let's go ahead and get into it then. It's the dog days of summer. A couple of months ago, Badger, you can hear my air quotes, Henderson, found the old lost haunted gold mine in Hoot Owl Canyon. By now, half the town is working in the diggings, which rumor would make as stuffed with gold as an Alabama miser's mattress with Confederate script. Not much has come back to Owl Creek, but Louis Santos, who runs the bank and assay office, has confirmed that it is the same gold found in the lost mine a decade or so back. Now, why did you stay behind? For some, the thought of backbreaking labor was more than could be borne. For others, knowing that folks would get rich anyways once that gold started passing hand to hand was enough to keep back. Maybe some of you just had a sense your destiny lay in other parts. Besides, someone had to till the fields and mind the stores. And tales tell the first coot who found that old mine went plumb crazy. Now, word of this big strike's gone far and wide. Drifters looking for a handout or a payday come wandering into Owl Creek. Some of them heard tell how the Evans brothers are coming to take that gold. That would be Grizzly Evans and his brothers, Hube, Jocko, and Pip. You've seen their posters on the jailhouse walls and at the general store. The younger of them boys are worth a good $200 each, dead or alive.
Dang.
And Grizzly Evans is worth a full $500 for what he done to some rich folks in Gunstock.
I want to get that motherfucker.
Now, the problem here is Clayton Reed, the sheriff, has gone down to grubbing the mines himself, and he ain't got no deputy. Either you got to get a posse together to warn them down in Hoot Owl Canyon, or you got to admit that you're just a bunch of cowardly greenhorns, which ain't never going to amount to nothing good. What's it going to be?
Well,
All right, that's the set off, guys. You're the bunch of citizens of this here town who decided that they weren't going to go grubbing in the mine, which most of the population has.
The sheriff is he's at the mine himself.
Sheriff's grubbing in the mine too, and as we said, he ain't got no deputy, so there's no law in this town right now.
Oh, you're wrong about that, partner.
That
The four of us, we're brothers. Our names are Jack, James, Jill, and Jacob, and we're here to fucking run this town.
that's beautiful.
Nice.
So, how big is this town? Do you know? I mean, can you give us an idea?
Well, it's not stated, but by what I'm gathering here, this is something like a 10-mule town. It's close enough to some mines that had played out a few years ago that town did develop around it. I mean, you got an assayer's office here, you got a general store. Doesn't mention a bank, and let's play it safe and say there's no bank because you guys are just going to rob it. But it's a fair size settlement.
I think any good adventure starts with a couple of rounds at the saloon until we can gather up a plan and figure out here. So why don't we head to the saloon?
Sounds like a plan to
Oh
us.
shit! I know the cracking of a cold one from across any digital medium. We're in the fucking saloon now.
So let's head to the saloon.
Piano player's grubbing down in the mines too, so someone's just cranking up the player piano and is playing that same old tune over and over and over.
I don't think I have anybody that can play the piano, so the
Barmaid's grandmother's still here, and she's happy to sling drinks across the bar. Now, some things that you guys know from living in this town for a little whiles anyway. Some of you might have been here more recently than others. But Hoot Owl Canyon itself is only about 5 miles from Owl Creek, about 2 hours by foot, a little bit less by horse, but horse doesn't really save you much time as the going is a little rough.
You know what they say, when the going gets rough, the rough get going, know what I mean? And I shoulder punch one of the other characters.
Shoulder punch my politician, my finely dressed politician, well coiffed.
Yeah, my distiller is wearing like overalls, but one of the straps is undone on one of the sides, and his exposed hairy shoulder is out, and he just giggles and punches your shoulder. You're like,
now, Mother Gardner here, she ain't much for charity, so I'm hoping that your characters have a few dinero on them.
I do. I have plenty of money. And he pulls out a fine leather wallet and he flashes his money around, but doesn't offer it up to anybody. Except for his 3 other friends, Leo, Stanley, and Rodney. And buys them drinks.
The player piano as if used to this sort of thing ending in gunplay.
Let's just say I'm going to saddle up to the bar and we'll get a beer for all 4 of my posse and maybe put our ears to the floor or to the bar and see if we hear any gossip going on right now.
Most of the folks in town are either too elderly to work or too much common sense to do so, and so are still working in the fields right now. So it's the oldsters that are sitting on stools today, playing some checkers in the corners, having some beer. You got a right fine brewer in town here, so it's not exactly swill.
I think, let's see here. Let's look at these 4 soon-to-be-dead people I've got.
I was about to say, my auctioneer, he sidles up to the bar and he says, now, ma'am, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get my whole crew here, all 16 of us, a round of drinks. And you are going to take this priceless, unclaimed estate trinket worth $20, according to my character sheet. And he withdraws, I don't know, a fucking voodoo doll, something insane out of his back pocket. Says, I'm just going to set this right here behind the bar, right next to your cash register, there, right there. And you're just going to let all of us drink in here all goddamn day, unless a fight breaks out or unless you got to kick us out because we're getting too raucous.
She looks at it, gives you the squint eye, and says, you want me to trade you rounds all day long for a hoodoo doll? She looks at it for a moment, thinks about it, and says, deal. She pulls a needle out of her hairdresser.
It's going to backfire on you.
Oh man, is it ever?
Now, I've never been one for magic, but I trust the lady who gave that to me. She only had one eye, but the one that I could look into seemed on it.
Well, Buck Stevens, the lumberjack, he's going to get his beer and he's going to head over to the old timers and see if he can't pick up on any kind of talk that might be going on. Maybe get into a game. Buck's not real good at checkers, but he does like the colors.
Don't stand there flapping your gums, kid. You want to talk? Sit down and play. Cash on the barrelhead.
How much you going to cost me?
Looks you up and down. How well you dressed?
Well, let's just say my shirt matches the checkerboard. A lumberjack, get it? I'm wearing flannel. I'm probably looking pretty down on my luck.
Well, sit down and we'll play a game or two. After that, nickel a game. What do you say?
Sounds like a deal to me, old timer.
None of them damn wooden nickels either.
Had nothing of it. I'll sit down and do my best to kind of a little bit if I can.
Yep, they're pulling out pipe tobacco and passing it around. got a pipe yourself, or you want to roll some of the weed, they'll pass it around to you. Some of the old timers are. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh shit!
Did we lose somebody?
I think he's still here.
I'm still here.
There he is.
Okay.
The first death.
Dun dun dun. Death by gambling.
Discord himself.
I was slain by ISP.
Oh, we don't have Craig in here.
That
Yeah,
is
I'm just gonna rip it from the stream.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna worry about Craig tonight.
Never mind that. Are they using? What are they using to bet? Is it coins? Is there the odd nugget lying on the table? What do they got going on there?
They got nickels, whole bunch of nickels.
All right. No precious gems or anything. Minerals.
So, David, the talk around the table is, again, people are talking about the mines. Everybody, most of the town's gone down to the mines just after having a few of the greasy bits of gold. That's a strange thing about this gold. Gold, sure enough, the say office says so, but it's got kind of a greasy quality to it, like it was near source oil or something, maybe. A strange thing is they've been gone down there for a week now or so, and nobody's been sending the gold back. Heck, nobody's come back for supplies.
Sounds haunted as hell.
It might be bamboozled in that there canyon. We not need to check on that.
Speaking of greasy gold, my greasy looking jeweler is going to slink over to the table and go, "Do you have any of the gold available for me to inspect?"
Oh, you sound like a fucking nerd.
I resent that. He's got like one of those things in his eye. It's even on his character sheet, an eye lupe. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's in his eye. He's picking up the nickels and studying them. Oh, that's genuine, and bites it and puts it back down.
Who let the Easterners in here?
Mm.
Well, as we were saying, very few of that gold's made it back into town. I'd say any nuggets that are around are going to be down the assayer's office. You can ask him. Certainly nobody here's got any of it.
How long's this mine with these greasy nuggets been productive?
Well, just a few weeks ago, rumor got out that lost mine was found again. It was a few years ago that gold was coming out of there pretty steady, trickled up, and apparently the prospectors that found the place just up and left, or something happened, and the whereabouts of that mine got lost. Just rediscovered a few weeks ago. Got quite a stir around here. Corn died in the fields because they ain't got no farmers to bring them up.
This wouldn't be something that would normally. I mean, let's just say if we were in a typical town and there was a mine that was starting to produce. Would people still? I mean, would they be as apt to leave everything? A little odd to us that no one has returned.
That's the odd part, is that no one's come back to bring the gold here to cash it in, and a lot of people left town where they're getting supplies from.
Or is there anything we know about the area, like any Native American tribes or anything that would, I guess,
you're looking for legends, son. Pretty peaceful area. Not a lot going on around here. No big old burial mounds. No big battles going on. Pretty peaceful. Got started as a mining community. Got some tin. Got some silver in those hills. Kind of dried up after a while. It's the biggest thing that's hit this town in a long time. You know how the rumor gets out? Go down to the lost mine and make your fortune. Supposedly so much gold in them there canyons that why till your fields? Why keep up with anything? Just go down there and make your fortune. And he's just smiling as he's saying this and shaking his head.
Snake oil to me.
Who's gonna feed you, old cooch, if there ain't no one working the fields?
My wheat farmers. That just ain't right, leaving them crops abandoned like that.
Oh, it ain't. Something's afoot here. I can tell you right now.
Pick up their beer and says, "It's all we need. It's a full meal in a glass right here."
Now,
I'll slap my teeth.
I'm no FDA employee, but I can tell you right now, you are not getting the nutritional value out of that bottle that you seem to believe that you are.
We should go check this thing out. See where how many people are left in the town? Do we have any kind of idea?
Well, it's not quite a ghost town. I mean, stores are still pretty much open. General stores still open. The Sayers office is still open. Of course, women and children are still around. There's still school going. But most of the people that would be physically hale enough to swing a pickaxe or pan for gold in the river or the canyon are pretty much gone.
Okay. Check out the Sayers office and look at some of these greasy nuggets.
Yeah, I say we investigate these greasy nuggets.
Let's do that. Let's have a few more rounds, and then we're going to saddle up and head over to the Sayers and see if we can see anything. Maybe we can look at one of these nuggets and check it out before we get any deeper into canyon.
My distiller, I'm going to pop open my bottle of shine as it is written on my character sheet. Say, anyone want to hit off of this hooch?
My farrier named Smith, he'll hold up his empty flask like, mind if I get a fill up?
Hell, dog, I got more than enough to go around. He fills it right.
And my boatman, who has a gangplank tied to his back, steps forward. I would love to have some of your hooch, thank you.
Got a bathtub full of it back home.
My pimp named Fancy Vest has an idea. Maybe if all of them got lost down in them mines, maybe we can go down there and not get lost while keeping them from getting unlost, and we can find all that gold ourselves.
I'm all for filling my pockets with greasy nuggets.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little grease on the pole.
My well-dressed politician comes over, slaps him on the back after you suggest that. Excellent plan, my good man. Excellent plan. We'll take the town over.
Yeah, let's get fucked up and then let's just go run this joint. Say what? Take maybe an afternoon?
If that.
All right, let's check out these greasy nugs.
That old Louis Santos is still behind his barred windows at the Sayers office. He seems to be pitching cards into a bowler hat, as business has been a bit slow recently. Stands up quickly as he sees this gaggle of people coming towards him. Whole mob full of people.
Now, go get in a tizzy here, Mr. Santos. We don't have any of those greasy nuggets to turn in. We're more on the curious side of things and wondering what this kind of odd type gold's been pulled out of the mine. If we could take a look, we'd sure be obliged to you.
He quickly deflates at your words. He's like, oh, yeah. He rummages around and he pulls out a little box and goes through it for a bit and pushes a piece of gold over. Truth be told, it looks a little odd too. It looks more like a turd than a rock or a mineral.
My jeweler right away snatches it up and starts examining it under his little.
You got a jeweler? That's awesome.
Yeah, I got a jeweler.
Oh, what?
Eyes.
Okay, I tell you what. First roll of the game, then.
Yes.
Since he is obviously trained in this skill,
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me a d20 and let's see what you think about
it. D20. Oh, he thinks
Good.
highly of it.
Oh yeah, that's gold, all right. It does have a strange residue on it that is left behind on your fingers. This little slick, little, kind of like if you were if the nugget were left around in a kitchen that had a grease fire going on. You know, it's kind of what it feels like. But it doesn't, it doesn't wipe off. You wipe it on a handkerchief you have nearby just to see if you can clean it off. It just doesn't get clean.
But it is in fact gold.
It is in fact gold.
Gentlemen, it is indeed a dirty nugget.
And he produces it to the rest. He holds it out like in disgust. Like, somebody take it from me.
Well, I guess dirty nuggets spin just as good as a good nugget, right?
Hey man, I got something down here in this bottle that'll clean the fucking paint off of F-150 if you let me see that.
The F-150 being a famous breed of Palomino horse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean it'll take the skin directly off of a horse.
My farrier takes umbrage at that.
We need, if we're going to head on to the mines and check things out, do you think we need to stop by the store and pick up anything? 5 miles away, is that what you said, Bert?
Yep, you can reach it in about 2 hours on foot.
Okay. Well,
I assume none of us are like well armed. I mean, I've got a couple of knives and a couple of
Jesus.
copper pipes, but I'm assuming none of us are packing heat, as it were.
I've got a teacher with a ruler.
Ooh.
Two of my guys have pistols. They pull out their pistols. Two of my guys, and another one has a gaff hook. My boatman.
God damn, son.
As soon as you pull out your
What you gonna
pistols
do
and
with that?
brandish them, Santos ducks down behind behind the office and pulls down the clapboard to cover up the the inside of the office.
And my jeweler, he produces a piece of chalk.
This is the only weapon I need.
Oh, man. Well, you think we need anything, or should we just head on and just throw caution to the wind?
I mean, all of us are gonna fucking die anyway. I can smell it on the air, so let's get out of here.
All right. I'm all for it. So we'll thank Mr. Santos for allowing us to look at his greasy nugget, return that gem of a nug to him, and I say we head on to the canyon.
I mean,
He
I would
opens the
like to see
shutter
if my
just enough for
incredibly
you to-
powerful moonshine would be enough to clean off that grease, but it's not a huge deal.
Man,
He opens the shutter just enough so that you can push the nugget under it. He closes it again real quick.
well, before we
Yeah,
do
just-
that, he's going to check it and see if he can clean that grease off with some of the shine.
Yeah, pour the
just
shine
wanna-
down and
I
wipe
just
it
want
off
to
with
put
a cloth.
it in
But
the
it
shine bottle
just doesn't
and
get-
shake it up.
Okay, just put the whole thing in the bottle. Yeah, it comes out and no, it's still greasy.
Listen, I've seen this fucking bottle here kill an elephant. I'm sure that whatever's on here is completely toxic.
My baker will interject. If it is grease, you must clean it with soap. He's Russian. I don't know if that came across as Russian. I'm fucking shit at
I
accents.
thought he was French.
Maybe he's
Oh,
French.
yeah,
I was
There we go.
Italian.
Oui, oui. It was French as intended.
That
You done
rare
gone
breed
and
of
ruined-
French Russians.
You know, if I keep doing accents, it's going to turn into Mario. So that's the last you're getting.
Well, you done gone and ruined a perfectly good flask of shine with this toxic nugget you dropped in there, but
I pug the shine.
all right. Well, you pug the shine, and I say let's hit the trail.
All right, you guys head out on foot then. Doesn't take too long to reach Hoot Owl Canyon, a little bit under 2 hours. There's a shallow river that runs over the rocks. Many prospectors here had found tantalizing hits of gold dust in their pans, but never enough to make a stake or lasting claim. The wide mouth of the canyon stretches away west and a little south. Here the canyon is still a little fertile and pockmarked by holes of burrowing owls that give the place its name. It's just over 2 miles wide at this point. The walls are neither steep nor tall, although they become both a few miles in. There's a few large boulders scattered here and a few more a quarter mile back the way you came, as if they were flung by some giant from tall tales of your youth. So you're at that little image I got here is at the very beginning of the canyon. There's a river that runs through the bottom, but it's not much more than a little bit more than ankle. Water is lukewarm.
You know, all things considered, this ain't even a bad time. Like I'm truly enjoying myself in this canyon. I figured this would be a much more dastardly and devious sort of adventure, but I'm really living it up down here. It's pretty nice.
At least the water's not cold; it's lukewarm.
That's right.
Yeah, it feels good.
So looking around, you see many tracks of people wearing boots, moccasins, and even bare feet, as well as mules and cart trails, easily seen heading out into that canyon.
Okay.
They all kind of going in one general direction, or are they?
That's the thing. They're all going in that direction. You're not seeing anything going back towards town.
Oh, I think that pretty much sets the course of adventure for us. Let's head on that way.
Yeah, I'm just
Mhm.
about positive that whatever we're going to find down there is going to be either a pile of bodies or a bunch of hypnotized, mummified civilizilians. You know what I mean?
Reading too many of them dime store novels.
All right, I'm going to have to take offense to that, partner. There's no goddamn such thing as too many of them dime store novels.
Hell, I was giving you a little bit just assuming you could read.
Oh, okay. I see how it's going to be.
It takes a little bit
Funny,
more. You're about an hour and a half into your walk as you're going through. And again, it is actually pleasant. It's a nice day, not too hot, not too cold. The river is just a little warm on your feet. Very pleasant, actually. Continue on and see more signs of tracks continuing further into the canyon. And again, strangely, not a lot going, well, actually none going back in the opposite direction. So you travel on a bit and you look overhead and you see that there's a natural bridge spanning, good 150 feet or so over top of your head here. The walls of the canyon now become much deeper and they kind of draw together and taking on a reddish hue from older rock formation. So out of all of your characters, for each of you, what's your highest stat? Chuck, what's your one of your characters? What's the highest stat on any of your characters? You can just tell me the highest modifier. That'll be quick.
Okay. I've got my chef's got a couple 2s.
And what are they in? What stats?
Strength and personality.
Okay, good. Hey, David, how about yours?
Are you talking to me, Bert? Because you kind of cut out on me some.
Oh yeah, sure. David, your characters. What are the highest modifiers on each one of them, and what stat are they
I
attached to?
have a farrier with a strength modifier of 2.
Okay. And Matt, how about you?
Lumber.
Oh, sorry, you had more, David. You had something better than a 2.
Well, no, that's it. They're just 2s, but the strength, the others are luck. So that strength's probably what you want.
All right, Matt.
Yeah, my politician has a stamina of 17, so a 2.
Sounds good. How about you, Seth?
My auctioneer has 17 agility and intelligence.
All right, sounds good. What's your Chuck? What's your chef's name?
I'm sorry, he's actually a baker, and his name is Chef.
All right. The baker known as Chef.
Yeah,
Chef, as you're passing below this natural bridge far above your head, you're in awe at the beauty of it all, and you notice that there's a peculiar large horned toad resting in the shadows under the span, and it kind of catches your eye.
Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu, that lizard over there. It gazes at me in an unfriendly way.
So as you're thinking that, you hear in your head, it's kind of the voice is definitely that of a woman, an older woman. And you hear in your head, mortal, beware, for not all is that seems. Great deeds are at hand, and where great deeds occur, death always hovers close behind. You hear it as if the woman were just behind your left ear, speaking to you and you alone, as it doesn't seem like anyone else hears that.
Oh man, I whip around hard and fast looking for it. There was a lady, she spoke of bad things.
How the French say, bad thing.
The bad things, she is coming.
A certain je ne sais quoi.
I am not sure that toad is unrelated.
Somebody better blast that toad with one of them sidearms. Otherwise, I'm going to go over there with my cleaver and make a fucking 2 halves of one toad.
I say it's just a toad. Let's carry on. Carry on.
Pretty fucking spicy JPEG there, Bert.
Friendly toad, he's got a smile for you.
Oh, where is this toad? Do we all see this?
It's high up on the rock, just under the natural bridge. Like I said, it's a good 150 feet or so above. It's amazing that you saw it in the first place.
So it seems like it's watching us?
Well, you guys don't really see anything odd about it. It just kind of caught Chef's eye.
Would you
I
stay
wanna
out
throw
of
a
that
rock
white
up at
lightning?
that toad.
That toad is trouble.
Really laying it on there thick, Chuck. I dig it.
It's the only accent I'll ever do correctly.
How good are you at making them frog legs up, Chef?
I can only bake. It is my great shame.
It is my great shame.
Uh,
Suck it, bakers.
You can make any meal you can imagine as long as it's stuffed inside of a crust.
Yeah.
no one else heard this voice, right?
Yeah, he's the chef's the only one that seems to be perturbed
Okay.
about things.
Yeah.
If
Then
we don't know, then we're just going to look at Chef, who I guess is looking up at the toad.
Yeah, I'll relay that I heard a lady who warned of bad things.
I'll lean over to the closest person. I think he's going mad. Shall we push him into the drink?
He's been drinking that tainted shine. That's what's wrong with him.
Ain't nothing wrong with my greasy nugget shine. I say we
What is
fuck
this-
this toad and get a fucking move on, partners.
Is the frog in it? Is it any bigger than like a typical toad would be?
It's a little on the larger size, like it was well fed, but it's not like monstrous or anything. It looks fairly natural.
You know anything about the bridge? Is it like something that's always been there? Or?
Yeah, as far as you know, it's made of the same rock, the same coloration. Maybe your characters aren't the exploring type and haven't been out here, but yeah, it's certainly something that people talk about. It's a nice spot for would-be painters and people that like nature scenes. So it's something that's known.
Unless you want to throw a rock at this toad, I say we keep going.
I'll chuck a rock at a toad.
You'd say that.
You're gonna chuck a rock at a toad, huh? All right, roll me a d20.
Oh, shit.
All right, yeah. It goes wide. However, you start hearing a buzzing sound, like a horde of flies. It just filling your ears, and you have a sense of pressure, like in the air around you, as if suddenly the humidity and things have changed around you, and you feel like you're being pressed flat to the ground.
Well, that's something that John the Distiller feels at all times, so he doesn't even notice.
Yeah, it's unique to your character, so no one else is noticing this. And if you're drunk, you probably don't notice it yourself.
Yeah, he just shrugs it off, keeps walking.
All right, you continue on. The canyon begins to widen a bit more, and the sides get climb higher and higher. That's now 200 feet from the bottom of the canyon to the top of the rock wall on each side. There's something of a waterfall coming down now, as you're seeing here, making kind of a half-moon crescent lake that's filling up with water that looks clean and clear. Still lukewarm. You're still wading through this water here in your boots and moccasins. Well, everybody, each of you players, make me a luck roll. So you're going to use the best luck that any one of your characters has. You're trying to roll under that number.
What are we rolling? What die?
D20.
Okay.
Standard luck check.
Oh, I beat all my lucks. Hot fucking Matt.
Yeah, I failed.
You are not lucky.
just not interested in nature is what's going on. He's more interested in things that can give him cold hard cash. The rest of you, though, being more attuned to nature and its possible dangers, notice that there are some tall weeds that are growing along the banks of the river here, particularly around this small half moon shaped lake that's being fed from this waterfall. And what draws your eye is these tall fronds of weeds that are coming out of the water seem to move. And I don't mean move like in a thin, like a breeze going by. I mean move as in ambulatory.
It's awful strange. You see that over there, fellas?
My wheat farmer named Forkle definitely take notice. Now that ain't right over there.
Oh, sir,
Plants
that
aren't
grass
meant to move.
is moving ambulatory.
That is a word that I believe I don't understand. But plants ain't be moving like that. It ain't right.
What plants? What are you talking about? Keep moving. There's gold to be had.
I say now, something that's ambulatory. It means it's something at your job that you have to do.
My pimp named Fancy Vest. My girls know what that's like.
Hey, Matt, who's character number 3 in your group?
That is my gunsmith, Leo.
This is your gunsmith named
Just
Leo.
here wondering about these these moving weeds. One of the weeds kind of lean back as if in a stiff breeze. It leans forward real quick, and a wad of like viscous sap is hurled at that character, splashes all over his face and hands. Yeah, the rest of you do see this.
Is he dead?
Well, first of all, make me a fortitude save.
Fortitude. All right, so just roll a d20.
D20, and you're going to add your fortitude bonus, and you're looking for a 10.
Nope.
You rolled an 11, though.
Yeah, okay. Let's see here. Look at this real quick. All right, so I'll let you, well, here, I'll roll it here for you. You're going to take 4 points of temporary agility damage, so your agility drops by 4 points.
Okay.
And your stamina drops by 2 points. You feel a wave of sickness and nausea come over you. And this is
stamina
where...
by 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is where everybody will initiate. So each of you players roll initiative. So you're going to add your highest reflex save from any one of your characters to your initiative here.
Nice.
Gave them a surprise round while you guys were John.
I like how none of us have modifiers on those.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, Matt, it looks like your posse is going to go first, which makes kind of sense. As one in your group is the one that got splat. They're moving towards you. These ambulatory weeds.
Sure. So
2 of them.
So you attack as a group? Is that how this works?
You can attack individually.
Okay, so you can do 4 attacks. Okay. Well, Leo, who just got this sap or whatever just spewed all over him, he's going to produce his light pistol and just start firing. He's wiping the sap from his eyes, and he's firing kind of blindly in the direction of these ambulatory weeds.
All right. So you're gonna flip a card from your deck since you are you're shooting a gun. Let's see if your gun jams or anything special happens here. Ooh, Black King. So David, we're doing these as we're doing these as modifiers, right? So that's a -2.
Yep.
All right, so you're going to make your D20 roll, and it's at a -2. All right, which will miss, so it goes wide. Your gun just kicked it a little bit there. The bullet went out sideways. So what's your next character going to do? The closest weed is about 20 feet away.
20 feet, hey? And what about, like, how does movement work? We're just going abstract. Like, I got a speed of 30, so I could get up there and...
Yeah.
or something. All right, my boatman. He's got a gaff hook. No, that's not gonna do much. Everybody's gonna hang back. My politician's gonna produce a pocket pistol though, and he's gonna fire at these things.
Okay, draw another card from your deck there. Okay, that's beneficial. That's well, actually a king would have been a -3, right? So Jack's is 1, 2, 3. So yeah, queen is gonna give you a +2 to your roll this time. So D20 +2. Ooh,
10.
That'll make it. That'll hit. All right, gonna do some damage here.
And remember that the card modifies to hit and damage, so you'll get +2 to damage as well.
Nice. So 7 damage.
Okay, that weed just kind of explodes into a bunch of pollen and shrapnel.
All right, that's my politician. Oh, what the hell is this? You're not gonna get between me and my gold.
So you got 2 more characters.
Yeah, the other 2 are gonna hang back. The other one's my jeweler, and he has a piece of chalk. And my my boatman has a gaff hook, so he's just gonna hang back with his hook and just wait for the others to act.
All right, Chuck, that's your posse then. Again, you're about 20 feet away from the one remaining devil weed.
All right. My baker, farrier, and wheat farmer are all going to move up into melee range and make some attacks on it. My pimp named Fancy Vest is going to kind of go wide around the flank of it and try and take a shot with his pocket pistol.
All right, draw a card. A lot of guns in the occupations for you guys.
Well, I've got just the one. I'm just drawing a single card.
Just a single card.
There it is. I'm going to click on it.
Yeah, just toss that out onto the tabletop there. Or just tell me what it is.
It's how do you toss it out? Oh my gosh. There you go.
Just drag and drop it.
Okay, so no special positive or negative. It's just a normal roll.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, that'll certainly hit. Go ahead and do some damage there.
All right. My little pistol does a D6.
Some of the fronds on the weed bend down as if a man gasping at a hole that suddenly appeared in its chest, but it continues to march forward towards your group.
Okay. Chef moves up first and is going to try and club it with his rolling pin.
Club those weeds, Chef.
Oh, he does a really bad job, though.
Whiff.
So then next up is my farrier named Smith, who's going to go and try and hammer it. But he's got a negative on his mod, so... Oh, man. Oh,
Also
man.
miss.
All right, and then finally, my wheat farmer named Fork. Okay. There we go. Is that? I'm gonna guess that 8's also a miss.
It is. It is, in fact. So there's a lot of whiffing there as the weed bends to and fro to avoid the attacks.
That's
So
fantastic.
let's see who's next. Hey, David, which name are you under here in Roll20?
Bacon Wizard.
Okay, who's Numbnuts?
That's me, partner.
Well, you're up then. You're up.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna start swinging my fucking pipes and knives at this plant.
Go all weed eater on it. Go for it. Oh, that'll hit. Do some damage.
Yeah, that's gonna be a thick D4 -1.
Okay, go ahead and roll the damage.
I click the D4 and roll 20 close, so just give me one moment.
I'll roll it for you. You're at a -1. So it does 1 point in damage. You got the same number I did. So it bobs and weaves and it turns to the side a little bit. So you just give it a grazing wound. Next character. That'll hit. What are they hitting with? All right. So yeah, the weed, whatever your last character had struck it with, the weed again just explodes into a bunch of
That's
grass and pollen that
That's
showers the area.
Butcher's cleaver. Cut
Oh,
that.
there you go. You just clove the double weed in twain. You do notice that more of these things are kind of inside that crescent-shaped river that's being fed from that waterfall, but they don't seem to be inclined to move towards you.
Well, that's probably for the best right there.
So I'm making 2 more melee strikes.
No, you've already you polished off the last of the 2 that were moving towards the party. Now, there's more further in. You'd actually have to get into that little bit of a crescent lake to be able to engage them if you wanted to, but they don't seem to be inclined to move towards you.
I'm too sure I want to waddle into a nest of these things. If that thing just spit like it did at partner over there and covered, is he all right?
That goo is still stuck to you. You know, you're feeling a little numb. You're feeling a little nauseous.
He's vomiting, wiping it off. Fine, fine. Leave me alone. He just kind of shoves you away.
Chef says, he has been glazed.
Nice. So I didn't make you guys do a grit check here because I didn't particularly feel that a bunch of moving weeds were that horrific. But it is something we can engage with as we go along. So what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I think you should save those for like things that would truly, make
Yeah.
the shitter pants.
Let's move on.
Yeah. No
Am I able to
use. What?
Sorry, I was going to ask Bert, are we able to recall our cards or they stay out now, like they're used?
Oh, no, they stay out.
Okay, gotcha.
There are some specific situations where you can get a reshuffle, and when we get to those, I'll let you know. Well, as you leave that half-moon lake behind, the canyon goes upwards. The river comes down from above with a few shallow falls, which makes a pleasant music as the water rushes down towards the lake. The air is hot. It seems to press down upon you. Combined with the droning buzz of stinging flies, the heat makes the canyon seem almost unreal. Ahead, the canyon splits. You have a choice to go to the gentler road to the right or up a much steeper incline to the left. As the oppressive heat and the droning flies reach a crescendo, you become aware of an old woman sitting on a boulder, as though waiting for you. It's almost certain that she is not there a moment ago.
Do I still see that lizard? Or are we past that?
Oh, no, that frog was long past.
Well, okay.
Lizard.
I'm pretty positive they're amphibians.
I am fairly positive that it is gross.
How far away is this old lady?
She's sitting up on a boulder that's just keeping her just out of the water. Seems to be very relaxed. She's a good 30, 40 feet away.
I whisper to Matt's politician and I say, I'm pretty sure that with how this whole canyon has gone so far, that our best option is going to be for you to just start fucking firing at this woman.
Now, hold on. No.
He starts reaching into his breast pocket. Is she naked? Do I have to make a check for that?
No, she's wearing like a thick robe that's got multicolored threads woven through it here and
yeah, I'm a politician.
That's that same wench that's on with that goddamn voodoo doll. I tell you, she's going to cast a spell on us and don't blast her.
Old woman, what are you doing up there?
She looks at you. You can call me the Toad Mother, though I'm known by other names.
What names would those be?
Those names are secret, and I will not speak them here.
Well, that old fellow over there didn't mean nothing when he threw that rock at your toe, if that was one of yours, ma'am.
She just nods, accepting that.
You tell us where all the folks is at, mining for these greasy nuggets?
She points and says, "The gold mine is found along the right fork. But first, go left and seek a sealed cave. What lies within is of benefit to you."
Ain't much for riddles, ma'am, and if it comes to me getting to the gold quicker, I don't see much sense in me going out of my way.
Why would you help us, old woman?
This seems very suspicious.
If your mind could be reached by the owl folk, you would already labor for them, digging up that which is buried. A stone seal prevents my taking direct action within the mines. Find it and destroy it, and I shall be your salvation. She seems to answer after each of you make a statement or ask a question, and only then.
You told us to seek what?
There is an animal in the cave.
A stone seal. Destroy it for me.
This is just getting weird, fellas. Maybe we should head back to town.
I will bake a cake so we can forget this terrible place.
I say we move on to the gold. Forget this crazy old woman and her riddles.
I'm attacking this hag with my meat cleaver.
Oh, Jesus.
That was unnecessary escalation.
Yeah, do you do that? You want to run forward and cleave this old lady?
Ah, fuck.
All right, so you do that. And the reason you miss as you come down with your cleaver, she simply disappears beneath your blade, collapsing into a swarm of biting, stinging flies.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, good for you. It critically failed. Yeah, so the flies buzz around you and seem to be very irritated, but they are stymied by whatever rags of clothing you're choosing to wear and are not able to hit flesh. But you're covered with them, and they're continuing to try and bite and sting.
Well, I grew up on a farm, primarily maintaining some pigs, and I'm pretty used to a bunch of biting flies.
All right. Well, if you're not doing anything further, they continue to buzz.
Where did that old woman go?
Jack grew up surrounded by biting flies, man. He just keeps walking, man.
All right, well, take 2 points of damage as they continue to follow you, and this time they're crawling in underneath your clothing, getting down your neck collar, going up your boots into your neck, stinging and biting all the while.
Hey, man, if Jack took 2 points of damage, he's got no health.
Oh, no.
All right, well, Jack is consumed by flies as they swarm over
as he
him.
goes down, he's like, John, James, Jacob, someone grab my meat. And he holds out a stick of beef jerky that he hasn't used yet for one of them to take. And he crumbles into fucking dust.
All right, yeah, you all stare horrifically as these this mass of biting and stinging insects just consume this guy, and all that's left is his outstretched hand with a piece of jerky. The rest of it's been stripped to the bone.
You guys hear like a faint whisper on the wind. Take the jerky.
I think this is probably worth a grit check.
Yeah, I would say so.
Do we have to roll it for each one or just one for all of them?
No, for each one.
We need to figure out a way, though, of something to give some thought to, Gilbert. I've been trying to figure it out. For funnel sessions, it would be cool if we could figure out a simplified way to do a grit check where everybody, because it is a lot of rolls if you think about it.
Yeah, it's true. True enough. But for now, let's go ahead and make a roll for each one of your characters. It's a D20 plus any will bonus that you might have.
Lord.
All of my remaining characters have -2 will.
And I got a question for you, David. So the DC is 10 modified by the creature's hit. Is that the number of hit dice or the die size?
The number of hit dice. So this
Wow.
2 hit dice will be +2 and so forth.
Okay.
Ooh.
I see that natural 1, Chuckster.
Just got you a hex token.
That would be
So whichever character that was, it rolled a 1. Just write down somewhere like just do. You're gonna have a hex and a boon, right? So maybe do left and right. So on the left side of your piece of paper, just make a little hash mark. So that's bad. So what a hex token does is they accumulate. The more you have, the more penalties you owe. 1 hex token is a -1 to your rolls.
All right, my last guy. Everybody rolled high except for my last guy with the 2.
All right. So now what I want you to do is any of your characters that did not roll at least 12.
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh,
Where
what
is that
modifiers?
hex?
And it's will that we want to add on to this?
Yeah, your will modifier.
Okay.
That means James, the auctioneer, is suffering.
So what happens if they roll
So
under
the first thing that happens is all of you that failed it lose 2 points of growth.
What's the DC again, Bert?
12.
Say it one more time. You broke up.
12.
Okay, cool. So I have 1 that failed.
Chef and Fork failed for me. Fork with the critical.
All right, and now we're going to go to the fear charts for those that failed.
Oh man.
And I've got it pulled up if you don't, Bert.
I've
So
got
if
it here, so you're going to roll a. Go ahead. Sorry.
If you passed,
you're fine.
you don't lose anything. If you failed, you lose 2 grit and you roll in the fear table.
Correct.
Okay, very good.
All right, so let's just go down the screen. Chuck, how many did you have fail?
2.
All right, so the first one, you're going to make a D20 roll. You can add your luck, whether it be positive or negative,
Okay.
plus 2.
So D20 plus luck plus 2. So it's just going to be D20 plus 2. 11.
Luck, a positive modifier, Chuck?
Yeah, it's 0.
You're at 11 then.
All right, so 11. Sometimes when you look death in the eye, the demise you see for yourself is too much to handle. That's when your brain does you a solid. It bows out to the candles. You faint and fall unconscious to the ground until you're properly aroused by way of smacks to the face, cold water being splashed, etc. So one of your characters just faints. That's actually pretty innocuous. That's good.
That's Chef. Chef just fainted.
Sure. Now do the roll for your other character.
Okay. For Fork, it'll be the exact same roll. It's a 5.
You feel the grip of fear take a proper squeeze on your bladder, giving it a good emptying. You're not only stunned for D4 rounds, but the source of the fear gains the upper hand. And yeah, it's already gone, so you don't have to worry about that. So basically, you pee your pants, and you're just sit there stunned for a few rounds as you empty your body. We're out of combat, so that's not too bad either. All right, David, any failures?
Yeah, I failed with 1, so... And I have a -1 luck modifier, so that's going to be a +3, right?
Yep.
So we're looking at an 8.
The source of the fear reaches deep to something you experienced as a child. The boogeyman incarnate. Since there's no bed to crawl under, you simply drop to your knees and begin begging for your life between cowardly sobs. You're effectively stunned and considered kneeling, offering a +2 attack bonus for D6 rounds. Again, we're out of combat, so you're just sitting there bawling, drop to your knees.
I don't want to go back home. I don't want to do this no more.
And Matt, how many failures?
2.
Wow, okay. Go ahead and give us the first roll.
And with no luck modifier, it's a +2.
Correct.
All right, this is
Oh.
Stanley Pennington, my jeweler.
Oh.
Does he die? Does he have a heart attack?
Oh, an 18? Is that your roll?
Yeah. Yeah, it's an 18.
You feel the blood in your veins boil. A certain doom takes a saddle to you. You immediately charge the source of fear with your next available action. Blah blah. Basically, you just go into a berserker rage and attack. But so you're probably going over there and just stamping on the flies and the gnats that are still they're dispersing at this, jumping up and down on the corpse.
Yeah, my greasy jeweler strips naked and pulls out his chalk and starts swinging it wildly at any fly he sees.
My greasy jeweler strips naked.
That's something you don't hear often.
All right, my other one, Rodney the Sailor Man, who's my boatman. 21! He's gonna die!
The source of terror plays directly upon a childhood fear and takes you down a path you spend a lifetime trying to forget. You lose control of all bodily functions and pass out. So you crap yourself, you piss yourself, and you pass out.
And I throw up all at the same time.
Yep. You void everything. All right, Seth. Any of yours fail?
Yeah, I got one failure, and that's James, the auctioneer. And he's got a -1 to will, so that's a +3 total?
Correct.
Oh, shit.
Lower is better on the charts. A cowardly shrill exits your mouth, alerting everyone to the yeller. All attempts at stealth are ruined within earshot, and you can take no action. So basically, you're just screaming your little heart out. As the single stick of beef jerky waves in the wind.
John, Jack's third oldest brother, he walks up to the stick of beef jerky and pulls it from the lifeless bony husk of what used to be his brother.
Ain't gonna eat that, are you?
He eats it right then and there.
Hello, jerky, my old friend.
Made
I've
from
come
my
to chew
old friend.
on you again. In this vision, always chewing. Don't know what that boy was doing. Sorry.
All right, so most of the party's just gone insane and crapped themselves here and passed out in the river.
It's very exciting.
All right, so you all recover yourself. So yeah, you all recover yourself a bit there, and after a bit, you're all better. You can wash out your britches in the river here.
It ain't even like you pissed yourself. You in the river. We can't tell.
Perhaps we should go back to town. This is much more than I bargained for.
There ain't shit in that town worth going back for. My damn brother just got ate by flies. I'm going to this fucking gold mine. All right?
So the old lady said the gold mine's to the right, but something that might help you is to the left.
You're not listening to that old hag.
I agree. Let's do what the old lady says.
She turned into flies and which killed one of our men. Why would we help her?
Because this story calls for it. Let us go rescue this animal in a cave.
You guys going left or right? Again,
How about we go left?
Lights to the gold mine.
Majority says left. Let's go left.
All right.
As they say in the marijuana smoking dens, left is law.
All right, so it's Gulch. It goes to the left, and you find a series of low caves covered with brush and small boulders. Why don't each of you players roll with the highest intelligent modifier of your characters? Go ahead and make me a roll.
That would be chef with a +1.
It's a straight 8.
15.
9.
All right, David. So, David, your posse finds one particular niche in the cave there that's covered by a bunch of vines and tangled weeds that you need to hack out of the way. But there appears to be a wooden chest damaged from sporadic flooding. So it's very old and it's been damaged by water over time. Seems to be the only item of interest here. Quite probably what the old one was talking about, as far as you can tell.
Well, I'd say the lumberjack will approach the chest and give it a good look over.
All right. Though it's become worn over time and weather, it seems to be looks to be fairly intact. It looks like it's stuck inside that little niche in the cave there pretty tightly. It's going to take a little bit of work to pull out.
Okay. Well, lumberjack. Oh, however, the teacher, who has spanked a lot of ass in his life, evidently, has got a strength of 13.
Sure.
So anybody
Go ahead and
got
make me roll.
higher strength?
I'm sorry, is there a lock on there?
Well, if you're looking, let's say it's your sayer that's looking there. Yeah, it definitely seems like there's a big iron lock on one edge of that box.
Okay, my sailorman's gonna he's gonna use his gaff hook and just kind of hook people and pull away. Allow me to take a closer inspection, gentlemen. And he pulls out a set of thieves' tools.
Cool. Yeah, give me a roll. That 14 there.
It was a 15 to try and get the chest out.
Yep. So you easily pull the chest out of the niche after clearing away all the brush, and then someone's going to work on the lock. So let's go ahead and have that lock roll.
Yeah, it was a 7.
That's actually enough.
Oh, nice.
So inside, there's a bit of buckskin that seems to be wrapped around something.
The boatman who unlocked it will unwrap it.
Well,
Careful now.
What you're staring at is a lumpy, greasy piece of iron. Seems to be shaped like a heart. And I don't mean a heart like Valentine's Day. I mean like an actual beating a heart. Made in iron. And it's got that same greasy feel to it that the gold does.
Is it beating?
Gonna touch it and find out.
Yeah, he's gonna touch it.
All right. Yeah. I mean, again, that's got that greasy sheen on it, and while it's not beating, you just get the sensation that it's alive, that it's a real heart, but it's not actually beating.
I'm gonna stab that fucking heart with my copper pipe.
All right. It's solid iron, so you get a thunk thunk sound coming out of it.
Fucking James was always a dumb auctioneer.
All right. That's all that's in the chest. It's this strange bit of greasy iron shaped like a human heart, or a heart.
This is definitely a peculiar oddity. It might be worth a few coin back in town. We ought to wrap it up and at least carry it with us.
What did the old lady say?
Just recollect that she said that something this way would be helpful to you.
Somebody throw in their satchel.
I'm not so
I don't
sure.
like it when Bert's rolling.
Oh, wait. The teacher has a sack. I'll throw it in the sack. What is Bert rolling?
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
You'll never know. All right, that's all you really find in this little cul-de-sac, and there's really nowhere else to go up in this way. It just kind of ends at a cliff face with a bunch of these little, very short niches, caves that don't go very far back.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll pull back out and go the route we was intending originally to head.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
All right. As you pull back and go back to the intersection again, you catch sight of a few canyon deer kind of just grazing along the side of the river on the bit of green foliage and grass. As you come out, you startle them, and they canter.
That majestic sight there, fellas. Let's just take a second and say a few words for our lost brother here.
We all hang our heads for a moment of silence.
Mm-hmm.
Deer craps on its way out.
Hey man, he was always dumb as a stump, but goddamn, I mean, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I just goes to show you.
So you continue on to the area that's supposed to go to the gold mine. It's about 4 miles past that fork. You come across the big divide in Hoot Owl Canyon. The Owl Creek River comes out of the left-hand fork, and the Little Snake Creek meets it from the right. The way to the right is rougher but shorter, and a lot of your kinfolk have opined that the lost haunted gold mine must be down that way over the years, but nary one of them has ever found it. It does look like there could be a cart track going to the left. But as you're sitting there trying to figure out which way to go, you notice there are some folks sitting off to one side on a couple of big rocks, maybe 10 feet up on the canyon wall. You all just know that the gold mine is to the left. And spare tools should be easily able to be at hand, and gold dust as thick as butter and nuggets the size of your head are easy to come. All of you are going to be rich.
These are the creepers up on the canyon walls telling us this?
Oh, you just know this.
Oh, I just
This
know
is just
this.
in our
You just
minds.
know it.
Are they man, woman, young, old?
Irons.
Who's asking?
My gunsmith, Leo. He's in the lead of my group, so he'll be the one asking.
It's a pretty woman. Dark brown, buttery skin, glistening eyes.
Okay. He takes his hat off and pardon me, ma'am. What are you doing up there?
There's not any real reply. Just the
Ma'am?
sheer knowledge that if you were to put a little bit of elbow grease and work your back a bit, you'd be rich beyond any of your imagination. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Looking for any of the townsfolk.
Well, you see definitely tracks like mules, maybe some horses and some wagons have been pulled through in that direction where you are certain the mine is to the left instead of the right. You're certain of that. But you don't see any of the town folks.
The females on the wall, they're not really talking to us.
Well, who's asking?
The lumberjack. He's a stout fella. He's been known to get right fancy with the ladies from time to time.
All right. Well, there's 4 of them there, and they're all women. They all got dark ebony skin, short hair, beautiful eyes, and white teeth.
Pardon me, ladies. My name is Buck. I'm a local lumberjack in town, and we're out looking for some folks that's mining in these parts, and just how just amazingly beautiful you are.
Well, of course. And, this kind of beauty, is befitting that you adorn this kind of beauty with some gold trinkets, with jewelry made of the finest gold, the shiniest metal. You know they can be found there.
You ladies fancy a greasy nugget?
Is that like a Chicago steamer? Is that a sex thing?
Uh,
So the rest
no,
of you
so
guys, are noticing that some people are, some of your group are speaking. And again, all of you are absolutely certain of where the mine is, and you're certain that you can become rich, and you're getting all this just this desire to go and just become more wealthy than you can imagine.
A pimp named Fancy Vest is enthusiastic and so excited about the chance to become wealthy. Chef is a little bit smarter guy. I think he'd be a little bit more curious what's down the other path.
Well, Fancy Pants, these three men, these gentlemen that are standing here on the cliff, are telling you that everything you need is there. All the spare tools you could possibly need, and it shouldn't be, so maybe a day or two worth of work, and you have everything you need. What was the other guy?
I was muted on the stream. Chef. He's a little more curious about what's down to the right.
Well, Chef, you're sure that there's nothing interesting to the right, and these 6 teenage girls here on the cliff, really, I think that there's nothing of interest in that way either. Really, you really want to go to the gold mine. You're sure that if you want to open that fancy restaurant back in a real city, well, the gold mine's your way.
That is a solid argument.
Like how Bert describes these women as utterly drop dead gorgeous, and then the last thing he says is, "Well, that horde of 16-year-old girls sitting on the cliff." Like, okay, well, I was more than sure and certain that gold was going to be had that way. I don't think that I would be. I don't know. I don't think I'd resist it too much. I think I'd be all for it.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why any of my guys either would resist it if we're being told the gold's that way. That's why we're here.
Yeah, you just know the gold's that way.
Well, then maybe we should go that way, guys.
I'm just feeling gold in my blood right now. It's in my veins. I think we need to head this way.
Fork is, I didn't piss my britches for nothing, so let's go get us some gold.
You can just piss your britches, you shit them too.
The tailor's going to have some employment when you get back in town, I think. Well, at last you found it. The haunted gold mine has a big entrance, making it a wonder that it was ever lost, let alone that it took so many years to find. There's kind of a camp made around the mine entrance. It runs east into the canyon. You can see where, camp's been set up. You see some pots of beans set out. There's a nearly starved to death mule tied up, looking desperately at you guys as it's within inches of being able to stick its muzzle into a pot of water that it can't reach. There's nearly a soul in sight, though. The camp is quiet.
Smith is awfully concerned for that mule there. He'll go and untie him and lead him to the water.
Well, the mule's very grateful. It sticks its head in there and starts trying to nudge over a pot of beans to get some food.
Actually, the teacher's got a fresh apple in his sack. He'll pull it out, polish it off, and mule.
Well, again, the mule seems very happy, and as you're this close to it now, you can see its ribs sticking out. It has not been well cared for, and it seems sometimes.
Smith is we should take the mule with us, guys. It didn't deserve this.
Where do you think all these people's going when they're getting these greasy nuggets? Leaving a mule like this just don't make no sense. You think they'd load it down and head on back into town?
My jeweler walks over with his piece of chalk and he writes his initials on the mule. It is mine now.
Claimed.
Yeah, the camp seems to be well provisioned. I mean, you're seeing barrels of stuff here and there, bags of stuff here and there. What is missing is tools. You're not seeing like a single pickaxe, shovel, or bucket anywhere.
Well, this certainly seems very peculiar. All about that French accent, guys. I'm
Yeah, you really are.
doing so good with it tonight.
I congratulate you in not becoming Mario yet. You're doing well.
Yeah.
Yet. You need some more
Yet.
alcohol in you. Yeah. I say we head on in, fellas, and take a closer look at what's going on here.
Well, has anybody got a light source of any kind? It's probably going to be dark in there. Let's look around and see. Maybe we can find some stuff laying around we can take and use in there.
My gunsmith produces a torch. Yeah, I've got one right here. Quit your worrying.
You do see some lanterns around, as well as some barrels that are clearly marked. You're also seeing a couple of carts that have been loaded up with sacks and bags.
Sacks and bags.
Pimp named Fancy Vest is going to go over there and check out what's in them sacks and bags.
Most of the sacks and bags are filled with sand and rocks, but you do see some things glittering and gleaming within some of that sand and rock. There's gold in here. There's several nuggets.
Oh man, definitely. He goes through it and starts putting nuggets of gold in his little vest pocket.
Yeah, my jeweler pushes aside and starts grabbing and looking at them under his little magnifying glass. This is gold, gentlemen. Shall we call it a day and go back to town?
Oh, wait a minute, fellas. This might be the sheriff's stash here, and if we're going in the pocket in these greasy nuggets, we might be hanging by the rope by the end of the day. Maybe we should go find our own nuggets as opposed to just stealing somebody's.
Stop rolling, Bert.
No, actually, you're going through it. Some of your people are enthused with the gold, and you find 24 gold nuggets. You find 36 ounces of gold dust that are put in like mason jars. You also run across a rifle and a pistol and a couple of derringers as well.
Ooh.
A couple of derringers and a rifle and a pistol.
Yep. Ammunition to go with each.
Who wants to grab? Who isn't armed? Two of my guys are armed.
I have no pistols or guns at all.
My guys are all armed. However, Chef and Fork both have kind of not so fantastic weapons.
James, John, and Jacob have a gavel, a knife, and a coffer pie.
Well, there are 4 guns here, a rifle, pistol, and 2 derringers if you want to divvy them out.
Let's roll a D20 and high roll gets a rifle.
Sounds good to me, partner.
Bum fight for the rifle.
Oh, man.
All right, so Numbnuts takes the rifle.
Damn straight he
And 2
does.
derringers, right?
Yep. There's only 7 rounds of ammo for the rifle, though.
Ah, fuck.
Other than Numbnuts, who got the rifle, everybody roll for the pistol.
As soon as Jack picks it up, he fires it once in the air.
leaving 4 bullets for it.
Hey, you said 7 rounds.
One of the rifle had 7 rounds.
Damn straight.
Okay, you had the rifle. Sorry. Whoever picked up the pistol, one of the pistols, or the pistol, has 5 rounds of ammo. And who got the derringers?
There's 2 derringers?
There were 2.
So the 2 of us who haven't gotten firearm yet, should we just each take a derringer?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan to me.
So wait, who all has the derringers then?
Matt and David.
Okay. And there's just
because you got a pistol, right, Chuck? You won the roll for the pistol.
No, I got the pistol.
Oh, you got the pistol. Okay.
Yeah, I think I rolled high on the pistol, didn't I? Or did
we'll
I
call
not?
it good there. So you got a pistol, and then Matt and I each got a derringer.
Yeah.
For the derringers, there's 22 total rounds of ammunition you can split.
Let's split it down the middle.
Right. So Fork has a derringer with 11 shots.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'll oil up a couple of lanterns for us.
The gold that was in the wagon, was it greasy?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, can we check and see if the oil on this is flammable?
That's interesting. You want to light one?
Yeah, just kind of hold it over a flame and see if it does anything weird.
Kind of a purpley green flame encompasses the nugget.
Strange, fellas.
That is quite weird.
But it is still gold.
This is true.
Is
If
it
we got-
the same greasiness that was on that weird ass heart?
Yeah, seems to be the same.
That's weird. Well, if we got
Well, yeah.
lanterns and guns,
Let
Put
us
'em up.
descend.
yeah.
All right, so you're all set for bear. You got your lights, you got your guns. The entrance to the lost gold mine is a good 10 feet wide and 8 feet high, shored up with good recent cut timber. The interior angles upward at a slight angle, heading into the canyon wall to the east. There should be a great deal of bustle here, but there's not. The dark hole may not be lost anymore, but seems more like an abandoned haunt than a place where living folks toil. There are spider webs, thick strands of spider webs that you can see in the upper corners and near the ceiling of the shored up mine as you're stepping in. Anybody got a background as being a scout or a hunter or an outdoorsman sorts, or any kind of woodcrafting skill?
I got
just-
a farrier and a wheat farmer.
All right, why don't you give
Lumberjack.
me a D20 roll for, if anyone does, give me a D20 roll in the intelligent bonus you might have. Tell me if anybody gets a 15 or more.
Would my boatman count for that?
Not in this circumstance.
No? Okay.
A lumberjack.
Lumberjack would count.
I am -2. I'm at a 10.
All right. So yeah, no further information there.
See any tracks?
Yes, there are numerous tracks all heading in.
Are we got the donkey with us?
You left him out there unless you wanted to bring him in. He's still getting his fill of food and water.
Well, my farrier,
We should let it eat.
yeah. Let him eat. He deserves it.
All right. Well, as you go further in, there's a tunnel branching off to your left. It's narrower, choked with cobwebs and dust. The wooden beams supporting the walls and ceiling are older. It seems unlikely that anyone's gone that way in a very long time, but the passage has a strange, dry and musty odor, as though something has been there. The main passage just continues on ahead. Looking at the tracks, there are no tracks going down the side passage.
And is we need to go down the side passage.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. A pimp named Fancy Vest will take the point on heading down that side passage.
Obviously, none of these folks has gone down this passage, which means there's probably more gold to be had down here.
Full of gold they hadn't dug yet.
All right. Well, you push on through thick strands of spider webbing. You do see the occasional small grayish brown spiders, the ordinary sort that you're used to in this. Everything's easily pushed aside, and you can see signs that once upon a time this area was mined with picks, old timbers, and the like. But again, it's been a very long time that anything's passed this way. The musty scent grows stronger as you continue down towards the end of the tunnel.
Smell that, fellas?
It smells not good.
What is that stench?
Smells me a little of skunk.
All right. So each of you players make me a luck roll. Use the highest luck any of your characters has. You're going to try to roll that or lower.
Good.
Succeeded.
I did not.
Oh shit, that is higher than mine.
How many of you succeeded?
I did. I might be the only one this time.
All right, Matt. Here's what happens. You get to the end of this this branch, this small branching tunnel, and it ends in just hard wall. Looks like there was no further exploration of mine through this way. Like they just went so far and they stopped. You're not seeing where any vein of gold or even silver had been mined out of here. It looks like they determined that there was just nothing in this direction. So you come to a dead end. And as you turn around, and a little bit of dismay that there wasn't more opportunity to find some gold and passing back through, out of the ceiling, something moves very quickly, and it swoops down. Let's see here. So Matt, you're out of this.
Get
So
down,
Seth,
fellas.
Seth, you've got 3 characters left, right? Seth?
Yeah, I do.
All right, so whichever one is now the new number 1.
That's fucking James.
Oh heck, James just got really lucky. Something drops very quickly from the ceiling, and it makes a grab for James. Probably grabs his hat and just yanks that hat up into the ceiling. Yeah, sure. I'll let you fire a rifle. Go right ahead. You're firing it straight up into the darkness as your lights don't quite reach high enough into the ceiling to see what that was. But go ahead. Yeah, something just took your damn hat. Go ahead and make me a roll. Actually, I'm sorry. Before you make the roll, flip a card. And toss it to the table or just tell me what the card was.
I'm doing my damnedest.
Just drag and drop it. There you go.
Did you get it, Seth?
I'm fucking trying.
5 of hearts.
All right, 5 of hearts. So nothing special. Go ahead and give me a D20 roll.
You rolled a 19.
Yeah, you had a 19 there.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit. Go ahead and do me some damage then.
Hey, how much damage does this fucking rifle do?
Remember what a standard rifle is, David?
Don't worry, I got it.
Like D12.
D30. Still really good.
I do 10 damage to whatever the fuck took my
you're
hat.
You're splattered with some blackish red ichor that just pours down on whatever you hit, and you hear something continue to skitter up deeper into the sea, and you're just splashed with this kind of warm, smelly crap of whatever flows through blood as blood in this creature.
Does his hat fall back to his feet, though? More importantly,
It
You know
lands
what?
right
With
back
that kind
on
of
my
roll,
damn
sure,
head.
your hat falls right back down to your feet. That's a $5 hat.
The hell's going on down here, boys? What attacked me?
Never saw it.
Son of a bitch, why'd I fire? I want to identify the issues.
it was a bat.
Well, whatever it is, must have been pretty big because there's an awful lot of blood all over you.
Gonna take a 5-minute break.
I
we
would
can-
love that. I am so intoxicated, and some nicotine sounds real good right now.
Woohoo!
I'm fucking nearly falling over drunk right now.
Sure, let's take a 5 then, guys.
All right, I'm gonna kick us over to the wait stream.
Thank you, God.
And we are live again.
When last we left our party, a hat returned to its owner. Now
Hat
splattered
came
in
back
blood.
from the bat, in fact. Ha
You don't mess with the man's $5 hat. That's just something you don't do.
I want to
So
get into some
you're-
fucking action with this rifle. Let's climb down into this mine and find out what the hell's been going on.
All right, so you go back into the main trunk, and again, you've got a branch where it continues on, where it's obvious this is the main, like artery, if you will. But there is a branch off to the right where you can clearly hear the sounds of work. You can hear picks and shovels, earth being moved, hearing the grunt of men.
I hear grunting.
A pimp named Fancy Vest is very curious. What kind of grunting is it?
The kind that makes you no money.
Such a disappointment.
let's maybe do a little sneaking to see what's going on up ahead.
Yeah, let's be all quiet like.
Yeah.
All right.
Douse them lanterns down a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so you hood your lanterns a little bit. So the tunnel goes about 100 feet before it enters a natural seeming cave. It's about 30 feet or so across. The floor is humped or mounded, but like right in the middle of a mound, it looks like it's a hole, and you can hear the sounds of the working coming from there. So if you imagine it like the hump of a turtle's back, and it's got like a hole in the middle.
It's
Like
a hole.
a gopher hill or something.
How big is this hole, like diameter wise?
Well, you're kind of staring at it from across the room. You want to go up to it and look?
Sure.
Okay. So this hole is a good 6 feet or so across, and you see down below that there's a huge cavern, and you're at a height of some many feet above it. And you're looking down, and there are dozens or more of the citizens of Owl Creek. They're digging by candlelight, by lamplight. They're all mining. You can't see all of them, but you can see, you can hear a lot of work being done down there. Everybody looks very tired and very ragged. They look like missed a few meals. You see all of your old friends down here, those that thought they could maybe eke out a small fortune. The thing you see is what they're digging. It's quite interesting. It looks like misshapen rocks at first. Long tendrils of rock that they're all picking at, shoveling at, and occasionally putting some aside, but then it moves. Then you realize what they're digging at. It's 3 talons, like some titanic bird, over 12 feet long each. You have to wonder how large the rest of that thing must be.
Well, I believe that goose should stay buried.
It looks organic, these talons, or does it look like it's like rock or stone?
Well, at first it looked like rock or stone, but when you saw it move, it looks more like the miners are excavating it. They're breaking the stone away from it.
Okay. Well, fellas, I say we forget what we saw here and take this gold and go back to town.
Do we see the sheriff?
If you're trying to look for him specifically, yeah, he's down there. He's swinging a pickaxe with everyone else, looking haggard, looking tired, looking half starved.
You know, if Seth hadn't dropped, he'd be shooting him right now, right?
It's the townsfolk. We don't see anybody else.
Correct, just the townsfolk.
Well, it doesn't look like there'd be no threat in us going down there and maybe asking them what's going on. Hell, it looks like Bill down there could eat a sandwich or two.
Why don't we call down to them?
All right, fair enough. We'll call
Sure.
out. I'll call out the sheriff.
starts shouting down, and you're pretty sure, even though how far down it is, there's measurement here, 100 feet or so, that they should be able to hear you, but nobody's really responding. No one even looks up.
Strange.
They seem to be enchanted.
Definitely look like they've taken to a spell or two. Maybe we should go down there and try and snap them out. It could be gold fever.
Chef has 50 foot of rope, but that'll only get us halfway there.
Let's see. I got a grappling hook. Would I have rope with a grappling hook?
Yeah, it's fair to say you would.
All right, so that gives us how much?
Let's say between the two of you, you got about 100 feet.
Get us down.
That would do it. Do Chef looking around from the rim there, does he see any other way down, or is it just they dug themselves into a pit?
No, it looks like you are in a room overlooking, and you can kind of see, looking down into all the digging going on down there, that the main trunk, now you've gone off to the right, like you took a side trunk. If you were to follow the main trunk, it probably curves around. It ends up down there. So if you went back to the intersection and just took the main trunk, it would probably eventually reach down there.
Forkle definitely suggests maybe we should just walk, because I ain't too good at that climbing stuff. I do a lot better on flat terrain.
Yeah, my politician agrees. I say that it would ruin my suit. Let us walk.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, 4 times.
All right. Well, as you back out of the room, you guys notice that there are 3 figures coming down from the deeper down in the main fork of the tunnel. They're coming towards you. Can't really rightly make them out. What they look like, what they're wearing, seem to be average height, average build.
Let's call it. Howdy.
So as you call out, you guys hear some movement behind you. You turn around. 3 more figures fly out of that hole in the ground and drop into the chamber.
That is fucked up.
Open fire.
So let's have each of the players roll initiative. Highest reflex added to bonus added to your rolls. Ooh. Well, Bacon Wizard, you just rolled yourself a 20, so that's a boon chip.
We got ourselves a tie here, Chuck. Do you have any bonuses to reflex?
No, I'm flat.
I don't either. Oh, doesn't matter. Bert got a 17.
I'll save you, fellas.
Well, David, yeah, your characters are quick on the draw. You've got 3 behind and 3 at front.
And what do they look like?
Who's asking?
The teacher.
The 3 in the back look like dark-skinned miners, people she doesn't recognize from the village. The 3 in the front look like some boys from down Mexico way, some cow herders that she'd seen once upon a time.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I think you cut out, Bert. You cut out on me a lot, so I don't know if you're finishing your sentence or not.
Is it just me, or am I cutting out for everybody?
You sound okay to me.
Yeah, it's okay for me as well.
So, David, what I had said was your school teacher sees 3 men from down Mexico way in the main tunnel, and then behind you, 3 workmen, but not people that you'd seen from your village before. You don't recognize any of them, but they're all men.
And are they threatening us?
Well, it's passingly odd that 3 of them flew up that hole in the back, and they do seem to be approaching you.
Well, I probably need to feed him a little lead then.
It's the best option, really. All right, flip a card. And who's
All
doing
right.
the shooting?
That's the teacher with the pistol.
Sure. Go ahead and flip a card there.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how I do flip.
If you hover your mouse right at the top of the deck, you'll see one of the cards kind of slide up from the top, and just click it when it does.
So 9 of clubs, I'm good, which means we
Yep.
rolled a hit, and I am +1 to hit, and I roll a 14 total.
Well, that will certainly hit. Go ahead and do some damage.
All right, I believe the pistol does D8. I'm not sure. We'll roll a D8.
So you've got this little notation that for 0 level characters or for your occupations that have firearms, assume the pistol is a Colt Navy.
Yeah.
Damage D8.
Do 5 points of damage.
Okay. Your target explodes into a burst of feathers. Everybody sees that.
Crazy there.
All right. What are your other characters doing?
Well, the lumberjack is going to take his axe and commence to split one of the other's heads open, I guess, if I could figure out how to let go of this card, which I just did. Okay, so
You swing your axe at a 20-something-year-old brunette. She's got green eyes, and she's holding her hands out in front of her.
no, wait a minute. Did she fly out of the cave looking like a brunette?
Sure did.
I don't know if I feel too right about striking a lady, especially a pretty lady, in the head. He probably is you said there were 3. Is the third one look like a female as well?
Yes, they're all women. They all look very exotic. You've got one that's got bright red hair and blue eyes.
Well, Buck is not going to hit a lady. However, here, Francis has been known to strike a lady here and there, so he's not going to have fire. So it's just whatever he rolls.
Quick question. The one that you dropped, was it at the group coming at you from the tunnel or from the group coming at you from behind in the hole in the ground?
Tunnel.
Okay. And how about this one? What did the farrier try to hit?
From the tunnel as well, and he rolled.
Any bonus to the roll?
No, but I might burn some luck on that if it might help me.
All right. Well, you're looking at an AC. Well, I shouldn't say. How much luck are you burning?
I'm going to burn 2 points of luck.
Safe bet in this game. It'll hit.
All right, sweet. So the hammer does a D6. Not too bad for a hammer. D6.
It's a mighty hammer blow. The woman dissolves into a burst of feathers that just peppers the air.
Well, if I'm seeing this, if the farrier sees that, lumberjack's out, obviously, but the shopkeeper, he knows something's not quite right. These people are bursting in the feathers, so he's going to take his billy club out and strike with it at a -2 to hit.
Go for it.
He rolls a 9. And I've only got an 8 luck, so I'm not going to burn any luck on that.
All right. So the woman just backpedals and gets out of your. So that's all 4 of yours, and that was at a 20. I think I'm next at a 17, though.
Yep.
See how many characters make it.
Chuck, it's your group that they run into. This is the ones from the tunnel.
This is quite rude.
Ooh.
Oh.
In the face.
2 of them. One of them hits character 3. One of them hits character 1.
Okay, that's a pimp named Fancy Vest and Smith.
Well, you're not exactly sure. Smith and Fancy Vest, why these 30-year-old women would be trying to run you down and trying to rake your face with their nails, but they sure do.
Oh man.
Fancy Vest just takes a single point, and the other one takes 2.
Smith is dead.
What?
He has his eyes gouged out.
Okay. And then
Right.
there was 3.
And then the rest of them are going to. Matt, they descend upon you.
All right.
There's only one. I shouldn't say they. It's just one that's left.
It.
Oh, but that's going to hit.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Oh.
Is it hitting the one in front?
It's number 3. Takes 3 points of damage.
That is the guy in front. Okay, he's still alive. He's okay.
All right, it's a he.
It's a he.
50-year-old grandma just sinks her dentures and her long, sharp fingernails into your throat.
What the hell?
All right, who's next up in the initiative? Who had just below a 17?
I think Matt and I both tied with 16.
You can go first.
Okay.
You just lost to your homeboys or one of your homeboys.
Yeah. So a pimp named Fancy Vest is going to take a few steps back and take a shot at the one that just attacked him.
Okay, flip a card.
Howdy,
Roll
partner.
initiative, Seth. Roll initiative.
Sorry, I literally vomited.
In fear, in absolute fear. Oh, that's a queen. Red queen. That's good. That's a +1 bonus to your roll and damage.
All right.
So mashed potatoes everywhere.
So
Yeah.
that's
Oh, Lord.
gonna be
It's going to be too low to hit anything, though. So it goes wide regardless.
I think
I thought
that's
that was
his
my
initiative.
No, that was Seth's initiative.
Oh, that was Seth's initiative. Oh, sorry. So yeah, go ahead and make your to hit roll there.
That'll be 14 to hit.
Oh, that's definitely going to hit. Go ahead and do me some damage with a +1 added to it.
All right. This is gonna
Actually,
be-
queens are +2.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Yep, +2 for the queens.
All right, so D6. Oh, why didn't you roll? There we go.
There you go.
7 damage.
It just bursts into a flight of feathers that just waft down from the air.
Oh man. All right, then
3 left.
3 left. Fork, he's got that Derringer. He's going to take a shot at the one that killed Smith.
Okay, you mean that 12-year-old there who is got a spoon in a hand, is digging out an eyeball right now? Go ahead and hit that one. Flip the card.
Okay.
Whoever's carrying the heart, is anything going on with it? The iron heart?
I leave for 5 fucking minutes and y'all are killing flying kids.
Yeah.
Flying
All
kids that burst into feathers when they die.
All right,
Let's,
so no difference to your rolls. So just go ahead and make your roll. No bonus, no negative.
All right, so this will be a 10.
Okay. Well, if there's no bonus or negative to that, you'll hit. Go ahead and do some damage.
Okay. The Derringer, is that a D6 still, or do I step down?
D6.
Okay. 4.
You wing the little girl, and she goes spinning into the dark, but she's slowly getting up. She's got eyes full of rage, looking right at you.
Oh man, Chef ain't gonna have that, and he's gonna move up and try to club her over the back of her head with a.
I said, stay down, kids! Stay down! All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
That's a. Oh, that's actually gonna be a 13.
All right, sure. You connect. Do some damage.
All right, this is a D3 plus 2. So that's gonna be 5.
Well, your mighty rolling pin comes down and cracks that 12-year-old right on the back of the head. She bursts into a stream of feathers.
Them
You
straight
fucking monster.
2 left. Matt, you're up.
All right.
Actually, Chuck, was that all your characters?
That
Sorry.
is all of my characters, yeah.
All right, Matt.
All right, I'll start with my gunsmith. He'll level his pistol. That's nothing? A 5?
Yep, that's nothing. And you're going to shoot that 50-year-old Chinese lady there who's awfully
Yeah,
limber.
who took a bite out of him, so a 10?
Yeah, sounds good. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
6 damage.
Feathers, more feathers.
All right, what is left for targets?
One more.
Do I draw a card for each attacker?
Yeah, for each shot.
Okay. Stanley Pennington, the jeweler, was going to pull out his newly acquired Derringer and fire at it. Ooh.
Oh, that's certainly going to hit.
Derringer's
did
a D6.
you flip a card? What was the card?
Yeah, it was a
Sorry.
4.
Oh yeah, you're good.
D6 for the Derringer, so another 6 points of damage.
All right. So the room is filled with a bunch of feathers. Be any naturalist or outdoorsmen among you will notice that they're owl feathers.
Mm.
Call me crazy, but I ain't used to seeing people bursting into owl feathers when they get brain.
What did the old woman say about owls?
What'd she say about the owls?
She said she was a lizard.
She did specifically mention something about owls. I don't remember what it was.
We'll take that. The teacher's going to take that iron heart out of the sack and just check it out. Is it doing anything crazy?
Well, you're handling it, and again, you get that sensation that it's alive in some way, even though it's not beating or pulsing. You just have a sensation that it's alive.
Seem to beat any harder or stronger if we move to a certain area, or is it just steady?
No, it's steady.
Chef is going to loot the corpse of Smith.
The still warm corpse of Smith.
He will not need his hammer or whiskey where he is going.
All right, what are you guys doing? It's quiet, other than the sound of feathers slowly falling to the ground.
Let's take the long way down.
That body.
All right,
He's
so you're
living.
going to go back to the major branch and see that if it'll loop around.
Yeah, I'm good with
Yeah.
that.
All right.
Yeah.
So you follow the wide looping bend, and you're surprised to see two men arguing in the tunnel with wild gesticulations. Although they seem to be shouting, there's no noise at all. One seems to be pointing down a side tunnel to the left. The other is angrily pointing down to the main.
Say we shoot them.
I'll fucking blast one of them. It's been a minute since I've done anything.
Okay, flip a card. And tell us what it is or toss it to the table. Either one. All right. 2 does nothing, so go ahead and give us a d20 roll. No bad modifiers. So the shot goes wide. The two men look up, and you recognize one of them. His name is Stinky Pete Curtis, one of the local farmers. The other one is a buffalo hunter you've seen come in and out of town every once in a while. And they turn around, and eyes meet yours. They seem to recognize you, and then they just kind of fade away.
That is fucked up.
They just go right back to mining.
I'm sorry? What was that?
They just go right back to mining.
No, they just kind of faded away. They're gone now.
Ooh.
When you say faded away, can you be more specific? Like they just like evaporate?
Yeah, like they're there one moment and then they're not there the next. Like vapor, like fuel film, fuel. You know that kind of hazy kind of thing you get when you get gasoline on a hot summer day. It kind of ripples for a moment and then they're just gone.
Okay. Like a mirage almost. Yeah. Okay. I just I wanted to know if they like vanished or teleported or evaporated or what.
Yeah, this just evaporated away, much like your alcohol.
Ain't never seen nothing like that. It's almost as weird as bursting into feathers.
I say we leave, fellas. There's something bad going on here.
But what about all that gold down there?
So again, when they were arguing, one was pointing off to a side tunnel, the other one was pointing down to on the main tunnel, and they seem to be arguing about which way to go.
Well, hey, let's take that side tunnel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you start down the side tunnel, and you're immediately hit with just a foul odor. And by the end of it, some 60 feet or so in, it's clear why. The dead are piled here, like corded wood. Men, some women, even a child or two, all from Owl Creek. There's also a mule or two in
here. James, Jacob, and John immediately turn around and go back out.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of my characters are too thrilled to explore this.
No, same with mine.
Well, the teacher's kind of curious to see how they may have died, so he's going to be.
Sure, as a teacher, got general knowledge of things. Go ahead and give me a D20 roll.
Ooh.
Yeah, definitely dead. Some of them are obvious that they probably starved to death. Some of them have deep slashes and wounds on them. Some of them look like chunks of them have been pulled off.
Ooh, that's not good. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna head out with the rest of the guys. There's nothing else that seems to be in the cavern.
All right, so you're back down in the main corridor, and it continues to slope down. It does seem to be descending, and it's kind of long, lazy curves, going down, deeper down. About midway, you encounter a group of 6 of your townsfolk. They're armed with picks, and they're coming up the corridor towards you. So a couple of them have a few lights they're holding. They all look kind of dazed. Eyes are wide. No expression on their face at all, but they're just kind of silently coming towards you.
Do they seem to notice us, or are they just kind of moving our direction?
Oh, they notice you. They're very intent on you. Just expressionless determination.
Jacob begins to fire.
Pimp name, Fancy Vest, and Fork also fire.
Oh, well, you just unload a barrage of lead into your fellow townsfolk, and that's old Zed there and his cousin Ned, and well, there's the sisters Neptune and Pearl. Wow, ooh, there goes their brains. I'm giving you guys I'm going to give you guys a couple of rounds here of firing into your townsfolk. So start drawing cards and just tell me what you got. Chuck, start with you. How many of you guys are firing?
2 are firing. Pimp named Fancy Vest got that. Jack.
Diamonds.
There you go. Words, man. And then Fork got that 5 of diamonds.
Okay, so nothing special there.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and give me the rolls.
So, oh man, that's an 8 for Fancy Vest.
Total of 8.
Total
okay.
of 8.
It's a miss.
Yep. And
Drew
Fork,
the jack.
Oh wait, he grew a jack, so that's a 9. Sorry, the jack's a +1. Red jack's a +1, so that actually hits.
Oh.
That was Cletus. Yeah, the guy that delivered fresh milk to you daily. He just put a bullet through his brain pan. He dropped.
Fuck your milk, Cletus.
Did he turn into feathers, or did he just drop?
No, he just dropped.
No.
Oh
Stop.
man. This is definitely going to leave mental scarring as we murder all these innocent people.
I have to leave this town when we get back.
Ain't a milkman I ever met in my life been innocent.
David, did any of your guys open fire?
The teacher's actually going to pull out the Iron Heart.
All right. What's she going to do with it?
Just see if it. I'm going to wait for them to get probably put my brains in with a pick, but I was just going to see if it might have some kind of effect on them. Pull them out of that stupor.
You just kind of brandish it, kind of hold it out.
Yeah.
All right. Any of your other characters do anything?
The lumberjack will. He'll take a swing with an axe if he can.
All right. So you're going to run down and get on them. All right. That's fine. Go for it.
Oh no! Wait a minute! For a second I forgot that people are firing their guns down this corridor, so he's just going to wait at the top of his axe.
All right, David. So Matt.
So no, I won't be.
Okay, so, Matt, are any of your people firing? I'm sorry, David. Were any of your people firing at all?
I'm done.
All right, Matt. How about yours?
No, none of them are firing.
All right, Seth. I know you're bloodthirsty.
Hell yeah, brother. Jacob is firing his long arm down this corridor. Son of a bitch.
Well, flip a card first. And tell us what it is.
That's a 6 of diamonds.
All right, so that made no difference. So a 9 actually is going to hit, so do some damage.
Oh shit, now I feel bad if a 9 hits him.
All right, so Larissa, girl you had your eye on a few months back before she took a husband behind your back after saying she had an enjoyable time with you. So maybe you're not feeling too bad about this. Takes a load of lead to the gut and bleeds out on the ground. Anybody
Good
else shooting?
Christ. I mean, my other characters are probably just gonna mourn her passing.
All right, so David, I got to ask: is this a scene that you would call a grit check for? I imagine you wouldn't call it until actually you realize that you're slaughtering your town folk and they're not turning into feathers. I mean, they're obviously gut shot. And she's bleeding out on the ground. The guy just had his brain splattered on the wall here. See, I'd call for a gut check now, a grit check.
I'd say it's a horrific scene, which would just be a standard DC 10.
All right, sounds good. Let's have everybody make a grit check. So let's just do them. Each character. So Chuck, just tell me if any of your characters make it or fail. So you're just looking for a 10.
So we're just to roll a d20
and add your will.
Okay.
Will bonus.
First one got a 20. Second one got a 16. Third one got a 19.
Look at you.
You're fine with it. You hated these bastards anyway.
Those assholes. They were all jerks.
They hated your food, man. You know they hated your food.
David. They did not appreciate my crepes.
Tell me if any of yours failed, David.
What's the target number?
10.
Okay.
10.
Looks like you hated these people too. There's a lot of resentment for your fellow townsfolk. I mean, why'd you even come after them in the first place? All right, Matt, let's see how you do.
All mine got over a 10. Even that last guy with the 9, he had a +1.
Holy shit. You guys had a mad on for your town. You're probably smiling as you're pulling those triggers. Seth, how about you?
I had one failure, and I want to say that it was Jacob, the one who shot the girl that he used to be sweet on before all this fuckery started.
All right, so let's have you roll the fear chart to D20 plus any luck modifiers you
have. Jacob's not a lucky man.
That's a 14. Is that what you rolled, a 14?
Yes.
All right, this actually makes sense. The dreams you've been having all make sense to you now as you find yourself facing the source of those nightmares. Roll a D8 for me. All right, so for the next 4 rounds, you're basically frozen in fear. Anybody attacking you successfully strike maximum damage. You can still attack back, but you're at a -1d penalty. So you're just very shaken. Apparently, you've had bad dreams about having to gun down your fellow townspeople. All right. So this round, they're going to be on you guys. Initiative. Each of you players roll initiative once. Chuck, what are you doing, man? They're coming down on. That's Farmer Watley there. You never did like his hogs. Said he fed them grain, but you're pretty sure that he fed them your Aunt Mildred.
Oh, man. Well, my 2 with guns are going to take shots.
All right. Go ahead and pull a card for your first.
All right. I got a
+1.
All right. So it's going to be an 11.
Okay. Well, yeah, he just took a bullet to the brain pan, splattered his brains all over the wall. Next guy.
All right. And so fork. There you go.
1.
Blackjack. That's a -1.
Okay. And
And he
18.
still hits with a -1. Go ahead and roll
Okay.
some damage. Damage is -1 as well.
4.
All right. So who was this town folk that just met their untimely end?
This was his neighbor and cousin Spoon, who was a corn farmer, and everyone knows that wheat farmers are the superior farmers.
There you go. Is that all your character's actions?
No, I still have Chef, who has a hammer.
Sure.
But he's gonna not move into the firing range. So
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds smart.
that's the end of mine.
All right, David, your school marm's holding out that heart. Doesn't seem to be affecting anything.
Oh, in that case, I'm going to bash somebody in the head with it.
All right, so she'll run forward and smack somebody in the head. There's only 2 of them left, by the way. Go ahead and roll some melee combat there. That's going to be a whiff.
Ooh, that's some piss.
All right, so what's your next character's doing?
And again, I'm sorry, but you're cutting out on me really bad for some reason.
Oh.
So the lumberjack will go with an axe.
That'll hit. Do some damage.
For 4 points.
Okay, whose head did you just take off?
That was Granny Driggers, and Granny Driggers was known to make some shine herself, but she's real stingy with it. And she gave me a jug of it once. It was actually probably wasn't a proper cook, and I went blind for 2 weeks, and I've always had it in for her.
There you go.
John, my party member, he recognizes the shining abilities of Grandma Driggers, and he hangs his head low in this moment of solitude for a fellow shiner going down.
John, she made me go blind.
That means she knew what she was fucking up to, bud.
You have any more characters, David?
Yes, I do. I have a shopkeeper who is horrible at combat, but he will try with his what has he got? He has got a billy club. He's -2 to hit, and he rolls a 15.
Do some damage.
And he's a D4 -2. So 2 points of damage.
You just slam that club into the side of Pastor Gardner's face. Yeah, as a pastor that you know would take some money from the collection plate and go and visit the spoiled doves every now and then. Great pastor. Great pastor. But he can apparently take a blow as he's still standing. And is that all yours? Is that all of
That's
yours,
all my
David?
characters.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, it's my turn now, and the sole remaining townsfolk, the pastor is going to try to embed his pickaxe into the school marm's head. I'm pretty sure that's going to hit.
Yep.
And can she take 4 points?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say no, but let's double check. She had 4 hit points.
Make me a luck roll. Have her make a luck roll.
All right, she's got to roll under a 10. Oh,
That works on a 10. So as that pick goes through the center of her head and she goes down dead as a doornail, that iron heart slips from her hands and slips down inside of her blouse and makes contact with the skin of her chest. And you all look in fascination as that steel, that iron heart starts to sink into her body, starts to pull apart her rib cage and sink deeper into her body. Well, I've only got the one pastor left, so that means that Seth, it's you.
What the fuck is going on in here?
Creature just buried a pickaxe into the school marm's head.
I'm gonna play true to my character. Jacob is gonna blow his own brains out. I'm sick of all this fucking magic and this nonsense and this crazy backwards ass town. I'm getting the hell out of here, John. Oh, Jake, it's been nice to be your brother, but fuck this.
do it.
Blows his own brain. Do I roll?
Oh no! You eat a gun.
All right,
How
he
about
eats
the
his
rest
gun.
of your characters?
John and Jake, in a fit of rage, are going to lash out at the one remaining opponent with their copper pipe and their... We've got a copper pipe and a gavel.
All right, go for it.
That's a 10 total.
That'll hit. Do me some damage.
That's a 1 total.
All right. So how do you end this? How do you put this preacher out of his misery?
He says, I hope there is a heaven. You can go apologize to my brother. And it hits him in the head hard.
Nice. Okay. Well, it's quiet for a while, and you all are sitting there looking at your fallen companion that's got a pickaxe right through the middle of her forehead. And her left hand reaches up, grabs that pickaxe, and just extricates it from her brain pan. That hole in her head is just healing over. So, David, your school marm gets a permanent +2 bonus to fortitude saves. And she's alive.
Out of here.
She can feel that warm iron heart deep inside of her, replacing her own.
Oh, that's fucked up.
It is. The kids are going to pay more attention to me in school now.
Right.
Don't fuck with old Ironheart.
Shit. So,
Are we on a new
Freaking
round?
out over that?
Are we on a new round, Bert? I didn't get to attack last round.
I'm sorry. Everyone's dead.
Okay, all right. Even this thing
they
that's
just
come back to
polished
life.
off. Yeah, they just polished off all of their townsfolk. Yeah, the school marm just pulled the pickaxe out of her head. She's back up and seems normal.
Good for her.
Pretty sure I'd shit my pants if I saw that in real
Yeah,
life.
right?
yeah, that's
Like all of us.
Yeah,
Oh,
that might call for a grit test, but we'll pass it since the combat's over. So it's of little effect other than comedic value.
So we were headed down the main path when we took the side path, right?
You were heading down the main path when this group of your townsfolk came up to meet you.
Okay.
So it's further down.
Yep. We shall continue.
All right, give me just a moment.
I apologize, folks, but this has gone on just a minute longer than I expected it to, and I got to get off of here. I got work super early.
Oh, that's cool. This is the last encounter, but if you need to go, you need to go.
All right. You guys have a good night.
Yeah.
Have a
All
good
right.
one.
Later, man.
So the passage eventually spills out into a vast cavern, more than 100 feet across and easily 100 feet high. Leather bags and heaped carts of sand, dirt, and rocks are scattered around the walls. A dozen or more townsfolk work to dig out a creature whose flexing three-taloned claw is easily 12 feet long. You can see at least half a dozen supervisors in the fitful candlelight. Towards the back of the cave is a large piece of dark slate. A pattern is carved on it that seems to shift and swim before your eyes. There are 14 townsfolk working here, heedless of you walking into the room. They all look half-starved and about to drop dead.
What shall we do?
So these supervisors that I mentioned, again, insert as each of your different characters are looking. They're seeing different things, but they notice you and are coming towards you.
I guess it's time to feed them some lead.
Yeah. Are we rolling initiative again?
I guess the question: are they coming at us aggressively or?
Slowly, but definitely with intent of purpose.
Oh man, yeah. Let us back up to the entrance and open fire.
It's good to me. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you guys 2 rounds of firing into them if you'd like.
Ooh.
Sorry, that was for initiative, so we're not rolling for initiative yet, right?
Nah, not yet. It'll take 2 rounds before they close in, and they got no ranged weapons. Let's start with Chuck. Anybody shooting Chuck?
Yep. Pimp named Fancy Vest got a king.
Kings -3.
Yep, minus
Oh
3.
man, so that's gonna be a 9.
That's still going to hit. Do me some damage.
All right. Is that -3 to damage too?
Yeah,
It is.
So
but you'll do 1 point at least.
okay. So 1 point of damage.
All right, you wing one.
How many of these supervisors are there?
There's 15 of them.
Holy shit. Okay. Then a fork is gonna take a shot as well. That's 2 of diamonds there.
All right, nothing special. Go ahead and roll me your hit and damage. That's definitely a hit. Do me some damage. All right, you doubling up on the same one, or are you spreading out your shots?
I'll focus fire.
All right, so one goes down.
All
Big
right.
splurge of feather spooge all over the place. Anybody else in your party?
Nope, that's all my ranged.
All right, David. Anyone shooting?
Only got 1 ranged attack, so that's going to be the teacher with the Iron Heart. Can she still fire a pistol?
Sure can.
So she flips. Oh, sorry. So we're good there, and she rolls to hit. She's +1.
That's a
That's
miss.
a misfire.
And that's a hex as well, right?
A misfire. So it's a D, I think, D14?
Yep, D14
Modified by
on the
luck.
table.
And she's got a, I don't think she has luck modifier. No luck modifier. So straight up 4 on a misfire chart.
I'm finding the chart. If you can locate it faster than me, go for it.
Okay. The cylinder is overpacked and goes off with a deafening boom and fiery flash. The attacker is not only stunned for 1d3 rounds, but all ranged attacks within 50 feet suffer a -2 to attack rolls due to the opponent spots from the flash. So D3 rounds is
3 rounds. All right.
No,
so
3
yeah,
rounds.
you have a misfire and there's a small explosion. That was the only character in your party that was shooting, right?
Right.
Yeah, so those are the only ones that have been close to you. So Matt, anybody shooting?
Yeah, 3 of my 4. So the first one, Ace of Clubs. What does that do?
Aces and eights are misfires.
Yep.
Oh. So
So-
no shot.
And
Next
it's a roll
guy.
on the misfire table.
Oh, okay.
14, modified by luck.
I'm just gonna drop my next card there. D20 or D14, sorry.
14.
Modified by luck. -1 to this roll. So a 1, unless there's a 0 on there.
There is 0-1. The gun accidentally discharges before proper aim can be taken, alerting the target to your bad intentions. The next attack against you gains a +2 bonus. So that one you shot at, if it attacks you, will get a +2 to hit you.
Okay.
Cool. But it didn't destroy the gun, so that's good.
Which is always a good thing. The next one who attacks drew a 10 of hearts. That's nothing?
You're good? Nothing?
Ooh, a 20.
Oh, yeah, you gain a boon there. So mark 1 on your boon side gives you things. So you can spend a boon to do some things. You can do to add a +1 to your rolls. You can use it to reshuffle your deck. You can use it to remove a hex. There's a few other things that you can do there. But go ahead and roll us the damage.
Okay.
So your crit die is a D6 modified by luck.
Okay, I got a 0 for luck with this guy. So 2 damage.
And what was your crits? Your crit roll?
You crit
D6.
success, so you're gonna roll
D6.
D6. Okay.
Another D6. All right, 4.
Bullet passes
Or
through
target.
target's calf. An additional D6 damage. Go ahead and roll another D6. Yeah,
4.
that just obliterates it. It's another explosion of feathers.
All right.
So only 13 more to go. Did you have any more
I
people
have
shooting?
1 more that can shoot.
Sure, go for it.
3. I rolled a 16.
Card flip. Did you do that?
It was the 3.
Okay, yeah. So do some damage.
All right. 1 damage.
You wing one. All right, so they're going to get closer, but you also notice now that all the workers stop moving. They stop swinging pickaxes, they stop swinging shovels, and they all turn their heads almost as one, and they all look at you, and they start ambling towards you. So you guys are quickly being outnumbered here by quite a bit. So you got another round before they actually close. What do you guys want to do? What do you want to do?
Man,
I got an
You're
idea.
running out of bullets.
What's
Quick,
your
by the
idea?
way.
This passageway, we've been on a descent, right?
You have been.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why don't we hightail it back out and get one of those? Wasn't there like a barrel of oil?
There was.
Ooh,
Yeah, we could dump that oil down there and lure them up and chase at them and then set them afire.
I like it. Let's get out of here.
Yep.
All right. You
That'll-
hurriedly back up the corridor until you find some barrels of oil that they're using to keep lamp lit, that sort of thing.
And did they stop chasing and go back to mining?
No, they're coming up the corridor at you. Clumsily, but they're still you want to enact your vengeance upon them and slosh a barrel full of oil down and try to ignite it.
Well, considering there's about 30 of them, I don't think we got much choice.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Nice. All right, here's what I'm gonna do then. Who wants to do it?
Who's our best shot? All of mine are 0s on that agility.
I got a +1.
All right.
Agility. I got 0s as well.
Let's I'll let you take the shot then.
All right. So this is the Iron Heart. She's gonna
Sure, you guys knock holes in the side of the barrel so the oil starts leaking out. Somebody gives it a good kick, and it goes down that incline, starts spilling oil out. Barrel heading in direction of everybody that's coming up out. Well, school marm, it's up to you. Actually, going to do two things here. You're going to have to make the shot. The shot's going to have to be on target, and then we'll see whether or not the oil ignites from the shot. So make your shot first.
All right, so I rolled a 2, but I have a boon. So one of the things you can do with a boon, you can spend a boon for a +1 modifier to attack and damage roll. So if you're rolling a 20 and you spend the boon, you can go to a D24 and then plus whatever the damage die is up a chain. Or you can spend a boon for a reroll. So I'm going to spend that boon for a reroll.
Nice.
There you go.
All right.
And she gets that.
Yeah, that got it. So tell you what, who has the highest remaining luck left of the party?
All zeros here.
I got a 1 on one of my guys.
Not your bonus, the actual luck score. With luck, you're trying to, yeah.
I have a 13.
I got a 16.
Nice.
All right, well, that sounds good. Roll your luck or less.
Buck Stevens is going to save a day. Oh, shit.
Ooh, or does he?
Ooh.
That'd be a hex because that's the opposite of what he
Yep,
needs. So
sure thing. Okay, so yeah, the bullet's right on target, and it sparks, and some of the oil catches, mostly the trail that's leading out behind it. So the barrel itself hasn't exploded or hasn't caught fire, but it's catching up to the barrel. So the barrel rolls into that first rank of these creatures that have been exploding into feathers, and rolls into your fellow townspeople, and that lick of fire is slowly heading in their direction. It may or may not be enough. What do you guys want to do?
Let's get another barrel. How many barrels of oil were up there?
yeah,
There were two. There are two. There's one left. There's one barrel left.
Yeah, let's
let's do this again.
knock some holes in it. Roll it
This will be your last shot before they descend upon you. So this time, all you have to do is just make the shot. There's already fire on the ground. You break the barrel a bit more as the oil is pouring out heavier. Just make the shot. Just make the shot.
Hey,
Good skull marm.
So it's going to be a 9.
9. Yeah, well, that's enough.
Oh man.
All right, so yeah, you barrel pin. The bullet penetrates the barrel. It catches fire. There's a big flash as the oil. This is big conflagration fills the tunnel below. You hear the anguish cries of your fellows as they go to their untimely demise in a very horrific, fiery conflagration.
Had it coming.
Yep, they sure did. They were assholes.
All right. Well, we'll end the module there. All your characters that survived, we'll go ahead and say they make it to first level, and you can turn them into specific character class.
Thanks for the bits, Adam.
Yeah.
So the other thing that can happen here is any of your characters that actually passed away, that met their demise during this, if the judge so allowed, they could come back as first level characters as one of the 2 character classes that inhabit dead bodies.
Oh, that's
Cool.
exciting.
So if you have a character you didn't want to lose, you can actually still play them.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just hash out some things that were going on there. So there's these owl folk that were trying to unleash their god, who has been trapped here, and the 7 days and night slightly woke him up enough so that he had enough power to round up his occult followers, and they're able to mentally dominate the people in the area to think that they were mining for gold when what they were doing is freeing a dark god. The old lady that you ran into, the toad that spoke, was a goddess that was against this one and was trying to lead you to a way where she could help. One of the things I described in the big chamber was an odd piece of slate that had writing on it. Had you broken that, this is the way out of having to have this huge combat, is that she would actually come and literally, hand of God, take care of things. But you can't do it with with that slate still in place and still intact. You guys came up with a pretty good way to get rid of a mass of people with a low number of hit points. They didn't have many. Just a big fiery mess was enough to take care of them all. So that works too.
Okay.
And so that's the 0 level funnel, guys. You guys actually come out with this with a fair amount of gold that you found outside. The gold are actually the owl droppings from the owl folk. It actually is gold, but it is owl poop.
It
Oh,
really is just greasy nuggets.
Greasy nuggets right out of the back end of owl people.
Oh, that's great.
Cool. So you want to, let's call it a night there, guys, and we can discuss some off stream.
Very good.
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you, Bert, for running this, and thank you, David, for playing with us.
Yeah, very, very awesome, both of you.
nice, man.
Yeah, so I'll sign off the stream. Thanks everyone for watching. Adam,
Mhm.
thanks for coming by. You're the best.